Fabrications in Saudi Arabia prevented. That is the title of today's statement, which is written by the awaited Imam Mahdi Nasser Mohammad al-Yamani on the 25th of July 2022, and will be recited to you by one of his supporters. In the name of Allah, the All-Merciful, the Most Merciful. Stay where you are, you and your associates, to return to silent videos, for which I surely assign no importance, nor I shall react except to the videos with the audio and image of King Salman and Mohammed bin Salman, such as the fabricated Hajj video of King Salman and the Gulf Summit broadcast in video and audio for viewers, also like the Gulf Summit video of the failed fabricated speech of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman due to the non-existence of the clip of the king and his crown prince addressing the war of Russia and Ukraine. As a result, fabrications have failed, and they are still suffering from this dilemma because fabrications must be made using the voice of the king or his crown prince in a way that leaves no room to be doubted or discovered by specialists in forgery technique. Therefore, they will not be able to fabricate the audio and video once again because the world will find it void of tackling the war between Russia and Ukraine, which is one of the most important topics in the whole world. Accordingly, they did not find any video to extract the news from. Indeed, this is a dilemma, for certainly King Salman and his crown prince did not know the unseen about the war between Russia and Ukraine, so they would speak about it previously on a live and audio-visual video to be a weapon if existed for fabricators, but the acting of the masked ones has to be silent because their voice will expose them. O my beloved ones in Allah's love, do not argue with others about the silent acting performances seen by viewers in the world, because the trades of the masked actors are easy to be performed. After all, the mask is a duplication in the eyes of the viewer, but if there is an impersonator, surely the voice exposes him. And yes, they can put the voice of the real person on the masked impersonator like in dubbed episodes, but I am putting them into a tight corner through an incident which has never occurred in the history of the life of King Salman and his crown prince Mohammed bin Salman, which is the war of Russia and Ukraine. They have never spoken about such a topic ever in their life, and here lies the dilemma, although it is the first global event on February, a few days after their death. The war between Russia and Ukraine is the first historical event that immediately took place a few days after their death by a predestined decree in the book inscribed to be an irrefutable argument against the fabricators because they would never find a video of neither the king nor his crown prince where their tongues mentioned the subject of Russia and Ukraine's war. That is why you find me imposing in every statement a prerequisite in regards to the new video of King Salman and his crown prince to address the war between Russia and Ukraine. And the question is, how would I know that the videos of both the king at Hajj and his crown prince Mohammed bin Salman on the day of the Gulf Summit will inevitably be without mentioning the war between Russia and Ukraine? Therefore, I put the challenge in each statement of mine that any new announcement will be made by the king and his crown prince after the date of announcing their death will be lacking the talk about the issue of the war between Russia and Ukraine, unless because I know that Allah has knocked them down into death before that. So do not tell me that editing and artificial intelligence can do that. Therefore, make the king and his crown prince address the topic of the war between Russia and Ukraine. Then I hold the argument against you and say, they cannot do so even if they combined all their forces, and I know and am aware of what I say. As for anything other than this, they can bring it from many private meetings that are documented by filming videos of themselves, which they do not upload to the internet, and how numerous they are. Surely, there are many videos in the Shura Council, and other than it because I see you searching for a clip for the fabrication on the internet, but you will come up with frail arguments or a word that is unconvincing for any sane human. The mind is what Allah's Caliph al-Mahdi challenges with, reflected in speaking about a new topic that occurred after their death and did not occur before in the history of the lives of King Salman and his crown prince Mohammed bin Salman, and the condition that the topic must be new. Hence, they will importantly and inevitably address it if they are still alive. For instance, the war between Russia and Ukraine is a new topic that has never happened in the history of both the king and his crown prince, but it was in the knowledge of the unseen, so how would they address it while it had been in the knowledge of the unseen till after their death? So the war occurred immediately to be the irrefutable argument against the fabricators, because they would never find a video of the king and his crown prince talking about Russia and Ukraine's war, neither in the publicly shared videos nor in the hidden videos of private meetings. It is impossible for them to find videos about this topic throughout the life of King Salman and his crown prince Mohammed bin Salman, so they bring it from among other audio visuals in which they have previously spoken in public videos or private meetings. But they do not resort to using a public clip unless they do not find a video among other videos in private meetings. Most of the talks about topics are extensively discussed in private meetings, where they document them for themselves and do not announce them. If they were to find a video, no matter how private it was, where which the king or his crown prince mentioned the war between Russia and Ukraine, they wouldn't be late to put it in the speech of either King Salman on the 10th of Dhul Hijjah or in that of the Saudi crown prince Mohammed bin Salman at the Gulf Summit. Certainly, the two videos of the king and his crown prince are real, and they undoubtedly spoke in them, but they have been gathered to seem as if they were delivered in one speech. This is called a live fabrication of the audio and video of a person. In fact, both speeches are undoubtedly in their tongues, but they have been merged to appear as if they were addressed in one speech. Surely, this is called the fabrication of the audio and video of a person. They can come up with many topics with the video and audio of the king and his crown prince that you will not find previously published on the worldwide internet, because they were sad and announced private meetings, except for a video where both King Salman and his crown prince addressed the war of Russia and Ukraine. Certainly, they, God willing, will never find these videos even if they use all the artificial intelligence in the whole world. For that, I do not think that they will bring a new video of the king and his crown prince in live audio and image, as it would never benefit them in anything, as long as it lacks the topic of the challenge, which is King Salman or his crown prince Mohammed bin Salman speaking about the war of Russia and Ukraine, which is a dilemma. I'd never give up this challenge at all, no matter how many fabricated videos they bring. They will fail until they bring a video of King Salman or his crown prince talking about the war between Russia and Ukraine. So let them bring it if they can, except in one case, that they restore the soul of King Salman or wake up Mohammed bin Salman from the coma of clinical death, then tell them how long they remain dead and tell them about the event of the war between Russia and Ukraine. Otherwise, an honest press conference directly with audio and video would suffice, so they would talk about the war between Russia and Ukraine. Indeed, the condition will remain as it is because the word live as a lie on the screen is not hard for them, but a live and honest press conference is very difficult because journalists will ask him about the subject of the war between Russia and Ukraine and about the kingdom's stand in regard to this and seeking mediation to stop the war because they are friends of both parties. But such a reconciliation definitely needs a public appearance of Mohammed bin Salman, which is impossible. By Allah, he would not appear in a televised interview about this matter. In fact, videos of King Salman and Mohammed bin Salman with audio have ended for the words, and the fabrication has ended in the kingdom. As for the silent acting episodes, they are silent, and I do not care about them. Verily, they use them to camouflage the death of the king and his crown prince Mohammad and the deputy minister of defense Khalid bin Salman from people. So let them overcome this challenge of Imam Mahdi Nasser Muhammad al-Yamani with the public appearance of King Salman or his crown prince Mohammed bin Salman or the deputy defense minister Khalid bin Salman. As for the silent acting episodes, I certainly do not give weight to them. They are useless because they are silent. Even if Mohammed bin Salman and his father are visited by all the leaders of the world, the actors will not dare to appear with one of the leaders in a press conference, as when the actor refused to appear in a press conference with President Joe Biden. And you watch the American president appearing alone in a press conference in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Surely they could not overcome the challenge with the truth, which I mentioned in all my truth challenges in the series of the story of the death of Salman and his crown prince. And you did not find a mention of Russia and Ukraine war, nor did you find that the actor dared to appear with the American President Joe Biden in the live press conference. That is because the actor's voice will expose them. Indeed, the truth came to light about the fact of the challenge of Imam Mahdi, Nasser Muhammad al-Yamani, and no voice gets higher above the voice of the truth. Peace be upon the messengers, and praise be to Allah, Lord of the words, Allah's Khalifa and servant, Imam Mahdi, Nasser Muhammad al-Yamani.